Hi everyone, my name is Danielle and welcome to another episode of Board Game Bakes. This week we're going to focus on Everdell, which is produced by Starling Games. And the first time I saw this game on Instagram, I knew that I wanted to bake it and play it. It could look like a really cool game too. Like the video last week, we're going to be making a gingerbread, except this is a gingerbread house version, so it's meant to be a little sturdier. So hopefully we'll be able to recreate the focal point tree from Everdell and have it not fall apart. The goal, we're going to first make it as the version found in the game, and then we're going to try and give a little holiday twist to show a winter version of the tree. Let's get started. Last week was also a gingerbread recipe, however, those should have been a bit softer. For this dough, the intention is to make them strong so that it's sturdy enough to stand up like the big tree in the Everdell game. Let's start like usual and cream 6 tablespoons unsalted butter at room temperature with 3/4 cup packed light brown sugar for about 2 minutes. While that is mixing, combine 3 cups of flour, a 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 2 teaspoons ground ginger, 2 teaspoons ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon allspice, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt with a whisk. When the butter mixture is nice and combined, scrape down the sides with a rubber spatula. Add 1 large room temperature egg, a 1/2 cup of molasses, and 1 tablespoon of water to the bowl. Mix at high speed until nice and soupy. Scrape down the sides, and while the mixer is on low, slowly add the flour mixture to the wet mixture. You should get a thick brown dough. Divide in 2 and wrap it in plastic wrap. Let your dough chill for at least 2 hours or overnight. Once chilled, roll out to a 1/4 inch thickness. You could take the actual tree pieces to create paper stencils. Use a knife to cut out the shapes and carefully transfer them to a parchment-lined baking sheet. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 15 minutes, and it could go up to 20 minutes. You just need to make sure that the outside is browning and the inside is definitely cooked, because you want to make sure that it's sturdy enough and it's not going to fall apart when you put it together. Don't be impatient like me, and if your oven is finicky, don't put them on the bottom rack. Just wait for one to be done before you put a new tray in. Use your paper stencils to determine where you want your grooves cut out so that all the pieces fit together. You can also trim any cookie spots that have joined together. Try to leave enough room and pray that it'll fit together when you're ready. Wait. Stop. Don't be like me. Use a ruler to measure how thick your pieces are and account for a small increase from the royal icing. Make sure your measurements match up with the shape of the actual game pieces. Measure twice and cut once, quickly before it cools, or else you'll be like me and have to cut it at least twice. You've been warned. Let your cookies cool completely on the cookie sheet so that they stay nice and flat while they harden up. Happy holidays! While you're here, make sure you subscribe to my channel for new videos every Tuesday. Thanks! On to decorating. Now, these are big cookies. Be careful moving them and pay attention to the orientation. I'm looking at you, tree trunks. Start with the areas that need flooding, namely the leafy spots. You need a thick green and light brown royal icing. Outline the whole big tree with the green royal icing. The second tier and the top both need brown sections. Now use the same color with the filling, except this time you want it to be a nice filling or a thin royal icing consistency. You should fill in the big tree in sections so that it doesn't start hardening before you have time to spread the icing around. Time for the fun part. You can use paintbrushes to add the leaf details to the filled sections. There is a lighter green, white, red, and different shades of oranges that can be added using different brushes to create various leaf effects and textures. Cool. Let's add some tree details now. There's light and dark brown shading in the trunk. You can try to follow the actual pieces or do a combination of matching the details and adding some fun lines of your own. You also need to add the patches of green found on the base and branch sections. Time to put it together. As I said before, measure twice and cut once. If I did that, then this would have been a breeze. However, I miscalculated. Start by putting on the 2 tree trunk segments. You can strengthen them by adding brown royal icing on the seams. Next, add the large leaf segment and cut the holes as needed to get it to stick. Finally, repeat the process to get the second canopy layer to slide down. Now do a happy dance, because the pieces survived construction, for the most part. Woohoo! Thanks Thanks for watching another episode of Board Game Bakes. It was very exciting to see this all come together and the holiday transformation as well. So every year, do you make gingerbread houses? What's one of your favorite holiday traditions? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're down there, hit subscribe. Keep playing games and keep them sweet. Bye! Happy holidays!